you process it firstly in your head, then it expresses itself in the body. So now how does it work? Just for me, just to build up a bit of a case.
Yeah.
What happens is whatever that we're thinking tends to express itself through the body. Because if we want to walk, we think about it first. If we want to wash the dishes, we think about it first. If we want to take a bath, we think about it first. Now, it is very, very much important to make sure that each and every single thing in here, in our heads, it's in order. Because if things are not in order, guess where it's going to show? In our body. I mean, we were speaking earlier on about, off air, about this thing of each and every single thing that we're in.
Yeah.
From the finance, from our health, to our relationships with our kids, with our parents, to each and every single state, we have created it.
Yeah.
We might have not been aware, but trust me, after this few minutes, you would have actually, you'll actually get it of now, we created each and every single thing. Now, how it works, like I said, the topic of the today here, the mind control.
Yeah.
Now, I have a beautiful quote of this. Actually, I love it so much. I'm not quite sure where I got it from, but I mean, it fascinates me.
Yeah.
It goes like, if you don't control your mind, your mind will control you. So now, if you don't take care of it, it will never take care of you. If you feed it well, the results will show well. The thing is, like I said, people actually take it very much for granted. I haven't actually seen somebody up to like you going to a restaurant and ordering rocks or ordering a sand and saying, I'm taking myself out for a treat. But the funny part is, we don't even take into consideration what we're feeding our brains. If it's so much of a commanding center, don't you think maybe we should take care of it that much? Even more than what we actually do on the outside. Because I can tell you something which is very fascinating, which I was telling you earlier on, that I used to work at a certain bank, and I decided to leave my job because I was not happy. There's this ongoing thing that people think, if you got the money, if you have the house, if you have a beautiful relationship, if you have a beautiful wife like I do, if you have a car, if you have this and that, things that are on the outside, you'd be happy. It doesn't work that way. I mean, like for an example, you might go, especially for the ladies, sorry for picking up on you ladies, you want to go out there and buy a shoe because you're feeling bad.
Yeah.
You get the shoe, 2 minutes later, you're actually much more sadder. And the sad part about it is you're much more in debt, because we know what happens now lately, especially in South Africa, we're living on plastic. So now we're spending money that we don't have yet. So now the thing is, if then we want to protect ourselves from such things, from this chaos that we're experiencing lately, we need to take off something that is beyond what we can see, which is this thing of the mind. I mean, like we know we're actually a triune part. We're like the mind, body, and spirit. But we tend to focus a lot on the body. And you know what happens with it, Balaki? If you don't feed yourself, just for an example, go a day without food. Check what happens to you. Just go a day without food. Check what happens to you. I mean, I doubt that you, unless it was like, a dedicated fasting, something else different. But I mean, if you decide to go without food, that's a problem. Now, what we do, we tend to neglect our minds. We tend to neglect our brains, because I'm going to be using the mind and the brain interchangeably, because I mean, just to demystify this, let me just set it out straight. The brain is this physical thing that we have in our heads. The mind, it's when it works. That's how the physiology, the neuroscientists actually define it. The mind, it's a brain at work. So as your mind is thinking about as your brain is thinking about something, we call that the mind. But now, for the sake of the talk, I'm just going to actually use them interchangeably. Now, how it works? If we don't take care of our heads or the brain, our thoughts are not going to be that much purified. And we've already spoken about it, that if whatever that you're thinking, it's not good, the body, it's going to show it. I mean, like, let me talk just to dissect a bit, just before I get to this one of the perception. Do you know that you can see somebody by just the way how they walk? Either they're determined or they're not determined. Either they're positive or they're negative.
From the walk, the way they walk.
Just the walk, without even talking to them, just from the distance. The physiology about it, I mean, I'll give you just a hint on it. You'd see somebody that is sad. Normally, how do they hold themselves? The shoulders are bent down, the head is in the shoulders, they're dropping, they're talking pretty much slowly. You can see even the way how they breathe is a bit shallow. But when you're excited, what happens? In your walk, you tend to be bouncy, you tend to be speedy. You know, like you have that confidence walk. So now, how does it happen? It's because of, if it's dark inside, if your head is full of darkness, your body's going to show. It's going to give away the game. You can see even, I mean, okay, with due respect, there's some of the people that then when they walk, you know what happens? They pull up their shoes and and it's very... Yeah, no, it tells a lot.
Yeah.
It tells a lot. Sorry for picking up on you guys, but it tells a lot. The people that actually know where they're going, the people that actually have the positive mindset, it's very important. So now let's take it to this thing. This one here of the thoughts. You know, I've heard this thing which is very fascinating. They call it a GIGO, G-I-G-O. Garbage in, garbage out. So now if we put in garbage in our brains, garbage is going to go out. But now where does it show? It shows in our body. Here's the thing. You putting nothing in your brain, what's going to happen? Nothing is going to go out. You put in 1%, 1% goes out. It's exactly the same thing with the effort as well. If you get committed to a task, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're not going to get what you didn't do. So now that's how it works. 1% in, 1% out. So now the most important thing about it, we need to make sure that whatever that we condition or however we condition our brains, we feed it good stuff. Because lack of feeding it good stuff, it's going to lead us into problems. Now this adage that normally goes that we are what we think about all day. We are what we think about all day. But now what inspires our thoughts? It's what we're feeding it. Most of the times we find that what we're feeding our brains, it's anger, jealousy, grudges, judgments, negativity, unhappiness, bringing each other down. It's very, very, very rare that you'll find people, especially these days, building each other up. You know, there's something which is very amazing that I've actually found quite recently. Rather than solving the problems, they compare their problems. You'd hear somebody saying, oh, you only have one problem. You don't know my problems. I got like 100. Now, the thing is, we've gotten so very much into this negativity stream that we're not even aware that we are negative. And now, here's the thing. Like I said, if we think about it, we act on it. Taking it a bit step further, if you think about it, you create it. If you think about it, you bring it into life. Because remember, whatever that you're thinking about tends to express itself in the body. Let's take an example, just to strengthen up this case of our thoughts are very much linked to the body. Let's take the people that are actually suffering from an anxiety attack. You know, the people that are suffering from an anxiety attack, that is a deep level of depression. They can actually make themselves sweat, make themselves run out of breath, just by sitting by themselves. That's what happens. And anxiety attacks without any external stimulant, without anybody saying anything, without anything affecting them. So now what does it mean? It means whatever that they're thinking inside tends to express itself outside. That is the body that we have. Now, the thing which is very important is we don't understand this thing that whatever that we speak about, we create. If we are always talking about lack, all the time, I don't have this, I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have love, I don't have friends, I don't have houses, I don't have cars. Guess what? Self-prophecy, it tends to come out true. But here's the thing. We tend to not want to take responsibility because responsibility takes effort, but it's quick to blame. We'll blame the economy, we'll blame our partners, we'll blame our parents, we'll blame our school system, we'll blame the government. I got news for you this morning. Let me just be the bearer of bad news. You have to take responsibility. The buck has to start and it has to entirely stop with you. Because if you don't do it like that, you would be subject to fate. And we all know what happens with fate. Anything happens outside of your control.
Yo, can we please just digest all of this, guys? Yeah? I need to reflect again now. Bratiris, you make me want to stand up where I'm standing, where I'm sitting right at the moment. Or you know what? Man. No, man. No, man. No. Bona management, I hope that you are recording this. I hope the camera is working. I hope the system is recording this. Because we need such stuff in our lives. But fair to Bona, man. From today, the way I walk is going to be a different walk.
I like that.
It's going to be a very different walk. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Ruby Malinga, after here, we're going to continue with Brother Atsiri. So I'm pretty sure where you are motivated right now. Like I can feel the adrenaline in my body. Like, yes, like it's pumping. Guys,